Right here, baby.
Hey.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of For Better and Worse podcast. I have some guests here. I have some friends. And you better believe it. It's my besties. We have a returning member here.
Bring him back.
Bring it back. We have here Meg Nye, everybody.
Thank you.
The one and only.
Okay, all right, moving
Accompanied
along
by Abbey.
Abbs.
Abby is making an appearance in Ohio, and come one, come all. It's a rarity, but we're happy to have her on the codependency couch.
I am so excited to be here.
Yeah, what a last minute pull,
I know.
right? But how it came
How
together.
the stars aligned for this. We couldn't have planned for this 3 months in advance.
We definitely couldn't, and it almost crumbled, but we held on with a death grip.
Yeah.
There was a death grip situation for sure.
I
Really
would-
leaned in.
I would argue that we are holding on to life with a death grip at this point.
100% stage 38 clinger.
That.
Yeah. We're hanging by a thread.
Yes.
Well, welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Cheers.
absolutely. Cheers,
Cheers.
everybody.
Cheers,
Cheers.
motherfucker.
Drinking my jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
We're all drinking different things.
I know.
That says a lot about our personalities.
I think it sure does.
And I think you guys will get to know us as and our different personalities and how we all jive. I'm super stoked to have them here. It's been a long time coming.
We grateful.
We grateful.
We
We'll
grateful.
Truly am blessed.
we will get to how we know each other and why we know each other, but I'm just checking in. A mental health check-in to you guys.
Mental health check-in.
How are you doing? How's morale?
What? Morale's good.
Morale's
Low on that end. Okay.
We sinking down here, but we catching the vibe from other friends.
We might
good.
be on
to bring the morale back up.
Yeah. Opposite waves, but the friendship vibes here are bringing them back up.
I agree.
It's like the three of us. You can't beat it. We just sit in a room. We could not talk about anything. True. We could just sit here and soak in each other's presence, and it is a vibe change, if you will.
It is. How often do you guys think we get together in a year?
Oh,
all three of us together.
solid together, probably like maybe like 3 times.
Twice.
I would say we have twice so far.
And that's crazy because you guys are like top friends.
Yeah.
Top tier friends.
I also feel like the amount of times you see someone doesn't equate to your level of
Right.
friendship.
No, but we'll
Yeah.
get to why that it is hard to.
Yeah, that just speaks volumes on our friendship.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
You guys, tell me about your week. Any funny stories? Any crazy shit you guys want to share with the FB+W's crew?
FB and Dubs.
So I'm
Go
a
ahead,
teacher by trade, an intervention specialist. Some call me. Actually, no one calls me that. And I work in a self-contained classroom with the coolest kids I've ever met in my life. And this week, my funny story is that a student was being unkind, and so he had to have not a punishment, but a consequence. I would say it would be the better term, like, because we're trying to teach those skills, like, hey, if you do something that's not kind, like, you're going to have a consequence. Or if you do something good, you're going to have a consequence. Consequences, I feel like, can be good or bad. Like, it's just what comes from your decision.
For sure.
So he got very upset because I took his Chromebook away for a little bit, and he literally growled at me. And I feel like I have not felt that level of joy in a long time.
You got enjoyment from it. You're
I've never seen him like
growl like a horse girl, like.
Yeah. It was, he was looking at me and he's like,
Very intentional
was like,
with the growl.
Okay.
Moving on here.
I need to turn because I need to smile. So, like, he's a student who came up from, I teach at the high school level. He came up from the middle school, and he had this, like, huge write-up of these really explosive behaviors and very volatile. He's been a little cream puff, just sitting right in my hand. I just love him so much. And he has had none of these behaviors, so when he growled, I thought, today is the day. We have made it. I'm about to see some of the stuff I've read about. Like, I'm ready for it. I have been training my whole life. Like, let me stretch. My whole staff was excited. We're like, because I feel like, when you get these write-ups, sometimes they portray students in a very different light than they truly are or how they actually present. So I was just kind of interested to see what would happen. And then he just re-regulated, and he was like, Miss Nye, I apologize for growling. I'm like, that's all right, man. It happens to the best of us. It's okay. Thank you. He's like, can I have my Chromebook back? I'm like, still no. But
he reeled it in, though.
he reeled it in. I said, look at that self-regulation.
Love to see it.
And then apologized. I said, you have better skills than the majority of the human race out there, man.
Truly.
It's hard to apologize.
Very hard.
We never got apologies back in our day.
well.
And let's get into it, guys. If you're wondering why these three strangers that you guys have no idea are, I mean, you're familiar with Meg Nye, but we all work together. This is how we met. We worked in an autism school, guys. Meg was our boss. And me and Abby have plenty of employee to boss story ratio that we could go on about. What a cool dynamic. But we will tell many tales of our time in the autism classroom. We were working with some severe on the spectrum, very aggressive. So to put it frankly, we got the shit kicked out of us. Yeah. Every day we were going to war. We loved every minute of it.
Loved every single second of it.
And we laughed our asses off every single day. So that's how we met.
Yeah.
It is.
I remember this was my first job out of college, so I was obviously nervous. I had no idea going into this type of school. I've never taught a student with autism. I was like very unfamiliar with this population. But I remember Regina, so we kind of did it like you sat in this room and they divided you off into teams.
Which was pretty traumatic in itself, because we went to one big room. Let me paint the picture.
Yes.
We went to
Color Picasso.
Okay, Picasso, I like it. We went into a giant room, which acoustics in there aren't great. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you're listening and you know, you know. Sound travels. But anyways, there's one person, head honcho in front, and she's picking the classrooms going like, okay, lead teacher, Meg Nye, stand up. You have to stand up and wave. If that's not embarrassing enough, you're handpicked. They're like, all right, her classroom is Jessica Carloni, and you gotta wave.
Yeah.
Jess stands up.
Gosh.
Barely. Did I stand? I don't even know if I stood.
I don't know.
I had 1 foot out the door.
Like a little.
Yeah, that's what it
Like,
was.
you know
A
who I
peace
am.
sign?
Yeah,
Like,
drop the
stop.
deuces.
With the you know that like
Oh, that's it.
you know what I'm talking about, the Jess face, like
Yeah.
Guys, let me
She's here
she's
to
looking
party.
nice. She's
go
looking
ahead.
so
Okay,
nice.
I was just painting the picture, but like that is literal like elementary picking teams on the playground vibes.
Yeah, like if you're
There's
not
stuff out
nervous in elementary school, starting your first job, you're nervous too, because I don't know these people. So like Regina was a family friend of mine, and I got the job there, but she had known Jess, and so back to Meg's description of Jess chucking up the deuces, I find out that Jess is on my team, and Regina was like, she looked at me with this grin, and she was like, "Oh, that's cool, Jess."
So cool.
I literally was so intimidated. I'm like, I get to work with cool Jess, and then we moved rooms, and then I see Meg, which is my boss now, and someone asks a question, and Meg is just like raising her hand. She knows all about autism, all about the rules, all about the knowledge. She's just like spewing it out there, and I was like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with these people? I don't fit in.
But boy, did you ever fit in, because this puzzle piece, no pun intended, speaking of autism, but no, like we all fit together so well, and like I feel like Meg was so nervous coming in, and so this was what my fourth year there, so third year. Yeah. I had been with the agency, been with the school for a while, so they were coming in, and Meg's like, you know what was really cool about Meg is she came in and was like, teach me everything you know. It's not like, because I'm higher than you, it's assumed that I know more than you. Meg wasn't like that at all, which I found so cool. The truth about me is that I was almost didn't show up that day because I was 99% quitting. Which is a cool story in itself, because
Cool Jess was gonna leave.
Cool Jess was she's gonna peace out. That's what that deuce is for.
I was piecing out, quite literally, and I met Meg, and Meg made me feel like I was seen in those walls, and that's not something that I was used to. So she was like, teach me everything you know. And it wasn't until then that I like found that I knew stuff, you know, that she was just like, I want to know everything about this place, you know, and I had that to offer, and she had so much to offer to teach us as well. And I feel like that was an instant connection. And I was like, you know what, I'll show up another day. I'll give this another shot. I feel like this is so new and fresh that I feel like what I was leaving for, like this was completely different. Yeah. So I was like, you know what, I'll keep coming back. And then here we are.
You know what?
Yeah.
Sent it.
One time Jess sent me something and she signed it XOXO Gossip Girl. And I said, I've got this bitch. I got her
like,
wrapped around my finger. I've never been in love. I've never felt love, but I think this is close.
It just was just like, if you want to talk about morale was high in that classroom.
High to the air.
High to the air. You guys, we will be referencing our old students' scripts and funny inside jokes throughout the whole episode, so stay with us.
And P.S. Happy Autism Awareness Month.
Hey, shout out to the TISM crew.
Right?
Love it.
Every day.
You know.
Yeah, Meg's like every day. Meg stuck with it. So
I did. But also
that's your passion and career.
It's my passion, you know, and like I just am grateful that I got to like grab a hold of both of you and like make you stick with me for 2 years before everyone decided to like grow up and leave the nest. But we had to. We all had to fly. It was our time to fly. I feel like we learned so many important lessons at that school and about how to work with other people, how to work with students who have a hard time communicating, and which I feel like transcends really well because I think a lot of the world doesn't know how to communicate effectively. So I think we developed a lot of skills that really help us be better people in general by being able to be with these individuals who
for sure
will humble the shit out of you in 10 seconds.
Oh, and my sister and I say that all the time. Britt, we say like I think we said this a few episodes back, but we're like, no greater experience than working in an autism unit for a month. Who cares? I don't know, something about it though. You just, I don't know what changes in you that you just realize like the world is not that serious.
Not that big.
When there's and it's not that like we don't feel bad for them. I hope you don't know, like I
feel like we just honor them for who they are. All right, let's figure out what makes you tick.
Yeah.
And how to meet you where you're at.
And then you do that with every human you meet from here on out.
Right.
That makes you a better person on this earth.
Changes your
I believe that.
Yeah.
Also, I think it just really, they just love and care about people in a way that is so pure and genuine that I think sometimes we get distracted by because we gotta get the iPhone, gotta get this, gotta do that. Like we're all about that grind, that hustle, and they're like, whether you're wearing makeup or not, if you don't give me my 30th Pop-Tart, I still might bite you.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what you're showing up with. It doesn't matter your status or your finances or education. Like, what matters is, are you going to be there after I bite you and you're going to walk me through that? And are you going to forgive me and give me that grace? And I just think it's, I don't know.
I think learning that, too, as being their caretaker, being like, you just absolute annihilated me, beat the shit out of me, bit me up and down, and here I am, took a deep breath, came back, and I'm like, I'll walk you through it.
Right.
Humility.
Yeah.
I mean, what a lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. Obviously, I still do it part-time, but I do. The autism community, rise up.
Rise up.
They are, man.
They are. They truly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. They're so wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, they just are a beautiful group of individuals that I think everyone should take the time and check themselves and like
spend time.
And then it will really, I feel like a lot of the students that we worked with, we're really struggling to do tasks that we take so for granted. You know, like I can't tell you the last time I thought about washing my hands or how many steps there are in the hand washing process or brushing our teeth. Like those are skills that we take like
I'm thinking
so
I
for
already
granted.
went straight to Q Sprue.
Oh man, what a dude.
The dishes Abbs. Talk about the dishes task.
Oh my gosh.
So we gave Abbs.
Yeah. So
well, I'll say Meg gave her that task.
Meg was like, I refuse to do this. So Ab, take this task. No, like we balanced it out so well, and that was like so great in our classroom. That's how we managed and worked well together. But I mean, autism, there's a lot of behaviors that come with it and a lot of deficits that they experience, and especially like sensation. And so this one specific specific student was like, hated the texture of water, hated it. And so one of his goals was to be able to wash dishes independently, to like carry over, help with household tasks back home, whatever. I
just want to be really clear, I did not write this IEP.
No, that's true. It wasn't your goal. It wasn't your goal.
For all the intervention specialists, listen, this was not one of ours.
You did wrong by that, okay? He hates water. It was the wrong. There's so many times. So what happened was in the classroom.
I'm picturing it every single day. You walking back from this. Just go ahead. It's so funny.
Fuck this.
You are okay. Go ahead. Please explain it.
So,
and also, like, the best way to describe this kid is spaz.
There's no
He's been through
no telling.
He's been through it. He deserves
that title.
It's in the best way. I'm shocking. God. Like, he would fake you out. Like, he would act like he's just so chill. All of a sudden, it just. Throw an iPad clear across the room and hit you square in the fucking forehead. God. Like, the precision was unreal.
Yeah, and it was like dead on every time, but you never saw it coming. Never saw it coming.
Me always, as it's hitting one of their faces, don't react. Everyone do not react. Do not give them that satisfaction.
Be cool.
And I am in tears, like silent laughing, tears rolling down my face. I'm like, I cannot. I'm walking out of this room. No, but anyway, Abbs would come in from the school, washing dishes school that she had to do in the hallway. And she would walk in with this bucket of dishes.
Like, let me just say, unclean dishes. Like, we never washed the dishes.
And he would, and just sometimes he would hold the bin and go, and absolutely the squirrel from Ice Age. And just.
Squirrel from Ice Age.
And he would just toss them. And Abbs is like, her face was like defeat always. She's like, I know.
Wet with water. There are dishes everywhere.
In 10 out of 10 trials, the dishes are going everywhere.
Yes.
Oh my God. Abbs gave it her all. Yes. 100% of the time. I will say that, like, true trials. Like, I think after a while I would have given up and I would have, like, hand over handed it and, like, put it in the thing. But Abbs is like,
hand over hand. Right. He couldn't handle
he's
the
like,
hand
I know. She's like, I'm giving
backwards.
That one time. Scared. Oh my God. So it's lunchtime, which is just a tough time in the classroom. Everyone is hangry, including Jess. You never know which way it's gonna go.
Facts.
So Jess and I were normally on lunch duty together because Jess refused to do recess duty. So
I've done my fair share. Let's say that. I put in the work, and I came to you, mano y mano, mana y mana, and I said, Meg, I've done my duty. Okay. I'm coming to you real.
Just like, it's
Let me
too
out.
hot. I can't go out.
You know how I get in the heat.
Yeah. I get in the heat. I'm too fat. I like to wear black. Okay, I can't handle this. I'm like,
I'm too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm sweating everywhere. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I already said okay like 4 minutes ago. You can stop. You can stop asking to not be in here. Yeah. Abby's out there trying to sunbathe, just chilling.
Abby's holding down the fort at all times. But anyways, we held down lunch.
Yeah. So we held down lunch, and we had one student who, his bites were very aggressive and they hurt very badly, and Jess decided to scare him because he was, for once, being quiet and just staring out our picture window so politely. He was just observing the nature.
Taking in
Forgot about this.
He was living his best life. And I'm working with Q Sprue, who, once again, he's very on edge. He's very nervous.
You never know.
Any sudden movement or loud noise really gets him going. So I'm working with him. I'm packing up his lunch and then hanging his lunch up. So, like, that's the routine we're working on. We're doing great. I'm behind him, trying to help him not throw his lunchbox, because that would happen often. Jess scares this other student, goes up behind him and goes, ugh!
Like,
this
scares.
Kid turns around and looks at Jess like, excuse you? And then
not
starts
even
laughing.
Startled.
Thank goodness. And then while that happens, Q Sprue throws his lunchbox and slaps me across the face. And I'm like, Jess! You just made him slap me across the face.
It was, Like fucking clockwork,
Oh
guys.
my
It was
God.
like, the scare. And then like 1 second later, Q Sprue got it. And
Oh
it was
my
like, he got
God.
scared. It was like,
It was perfect timing.
Threw his lunchbox,
But,
turned
like-
around, and slapped me right across the
I
face.
absolutely forgot about that.
That's not the only time that Jess made another student slap somebody either.
Wait, what's the
What
other
story is
one?
that?
Remember, how am I supposed to... Dee. We're just gonna call him Dee.
Oh, okay.
Jess was bringing him back from the bathroom, and he was also, like, long jointed, like, quadruple jointed. Like, he was very impulsive, so same with Q Sprue, like, you would never know when
You
he
couldn't
was
see
gonna,
it coming,
like...
even if you tried.
And it was so quick. I'm sitting at the computer trying to teach another student math, and Jess was bringing Dee back from the bathroom and wasn't holding his hands, which is something we did at one point.
Or we would be like, incoming.
incoming.
And I'm like,
coming
everyone's
through.
fine. He's
I'm
fine.
sitting there right at this computer
Oh,
desk.
yeah.
He walks into the door. I literally didn't even blink, you guys. Like, straight 5-star to my face.
I swear to God, he sat down
Before
like,
I opened my eyes.
before you
Like,
realized you were hit.
It
So-
was like, oh, he's sitting? Like,
My face is on fire, but he's sitting in his
God.
beanbag, so it couldn't have been him. There's no way.
I was like,
Oh
did
my
I
God.
get hit or am I dreaming this?
And we look at Abbs, we're like, no, you got it. You have a handprint.
Oh
There's a
my
finger on your
God.
forehead for
That
sure.
Oh my
was so
God, you
funny.
cannot make this shit up.
So funny. Or with Jess and I doing lunch, Q Sprue would bring in these
Lunch
race tracks. Not the actual car, just the whole track for like a Hot Wheels. And he would play with them. And he would always have riblets for lunch. So Jess would make him his riblets.
No, I never did.
You
I
did-
couldn't.
Oh, then maybe I made them.
Remember, I was like,
Oh.
I'm sorry, I can't handle that. That was a microwavable food that could
she
not.
couldn't do. And I remember he finishes eating, and he goes and he's like pointing to his lunchbox because he wants the Hot Wheels tracks. And so every day he takes these and he throws them at Jess's head.
Yeah.
Every day during lunch without fail. So Jess is
my
like,
God.
she's like, I'm gonna put him in his lunchbox until he's done eating, and then he can have them. I'm like, that sounds like a great
Yeah.
idea. Like I would just remove them.
I was
completely.
done.
Yeah.
I was
And
like
so-
immediately no.
Right.
And so he
Immediately
finishes.
no. I
She
know it.
he finishes his lunch pickup routine, and she's holding these tracks in her hands. She's talking to him. She's like, I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. I'm going to give these to you. Don't throw them at my head again.
Don't make me regret
Don't
this.
Make me regret this. And he's like, she's like, exactly.
Yeah, you
You
understand.
understand. So literally hands the track, she turns around, and he just biffs her right on the head. Watched it
Oh my
clear as day, and she turned around, and she's like,
I'm out.
He
you
was,
made me regret it.
yeah.
You made me
Oh
regret
my
it.
gosh. Seriously.
He did it for the story.
He did. He was.
Yeah.
He had no control. I believe that.
Gosh.
Neither
Yeah.
do we. I think that's why we got along so well.
No.
Facts.
Like we were in such tight knit situations to where like we would essentially grind on each other. Like we were, if there was a crisis situation going on, like
Yeah, I
we'd
mean,
be
we're s-
trapped in a room, like trying to like just give this child what he wanted, what he needed at the moment. But like we would just be like
Tight quarters.
tight quarters.
We're in a classroom with 6 high school bodies, big boys. I mean,
Yeah.
they were tall. Like we were
Mhm.
a group, and then us.
But when it
And we had
comes
other
to
people.
safety, I'm
Yeah.
talking about, if you want to talk about a well-oiled machine,
Mm.
we were where you weren't.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, if you were the point person, everyone was where you needed to be.
Yeah,
It was, like,
Absolutely.
down to a science, and, like,
you heard a
unsafe
noise.
behaviors
Yeah.
doesn't always look like that.
Yeah.
You know, it really is, it's survival mode, and whatever you do is what you do, and we're thankful that there's bodies there. But I
Yeah.
feel like for us, there was an unspoken vibe, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term, in the air that was just like, you are safe, like,
Right.
we're here, you know, and like, I don't know, it was mind reading type shit.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah. I just feel like we all played to our strengths in those moments. Like, and it just was on autopilot. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I would breathe heavily and quickly. Jess wouldn't breathe at all.
Mhm.
And Abby would be like, oh, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I'm
Uh,
ready.
She
You
was
know what
the,
I'm saying?
Meg.
She
I mean,
got
Abbs
it,
was
like-
the athlete. in the group.
So she was like
Quick
we
moving,
knew,
quick
very
feet.
very agile.
Yeah,
A gazelle,
squatting,
some
you
would
know.
say.
I don't know, Meg. You see her run around those corners and be like, she gone.
Meg would
She's
book it.
sprinted out there.
I used to laugh so hard when you would book in your little flats.
Little
So I'm like,
Toms.
those quick
Little
feet,
Toms.
those quick feet,
quick
quick
feet.
feet at all times.
No. God.
Like that one time when I was talking about my nails, we were having like a group, and I was leading group, and a student was struggling from a different classroom outside in the hallway. And sometimes what would happen is, like, when a situation would happen is you would just call for help, or you call for staff, because you can't predict everything. And so then people would just, whoever could, would respond to help out. I remember I was talking about my nails. I'm like, yes, these are my spring nails. And then someone called for help, and I literally like was in there in 10 seconds, and they were like, how'd you get here? I was like, my spring to action nails. Like,
Spring to action.
I remember
to
Aunt Wani
action.
was like, don't say things
Oh
like
my
that.
God, Wani,
What
what
a throwback.
Jenks.
Cheers. Wait, I just thought of one more story.
Let's go.
I feel like this is just a rewind back to like when we all three had to just merge together as co-workers and essentially teammates. It was our first day. I'm pretty sure it was our first day working together with the kids, and we went to the pool.
Let's go. I was hoping we'd tell this. Okay, guys.
Oh.
The story of the pool.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Meg hates this story.
I do,
But
I
it-
hate it. It's the day I thought I was going to.
It's not a reflection on any of our. It's a fluke. It was a fluke accident. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah. And it's funny now.
And it's very funny now, but at the time it was very scary.
Scary.
Very scary.
my
Meg
God.
literally thought she lost her job. So I don't know who's telling this story. I don't have to tell it. Meg.
What, me? Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
But
I
be
just
funny
thought
about
of
it. Don't be too
because-
cautious
yeah, I
because
feel
we
like
know
okay.
your license isn't on the line,
All
okay?
right. I really thought it was.
It's past tense.
So,
God, I
a
love
part
it.
of the things that we offer is aquatic therapy. Dope. Cool. So I asked Jess, I'm like, okay, what do I need to know about the pool? She's like, hey, the director of swim's there. It's really chill. Honestly, all the kids love it. We get them in the pool, and then we just sit there, and we wait for them to get out. Then we change them. We come back to class. It's a nice, like, easy hour. I'm like, okay, wonderful.
Easy.
So we walk over to the pool. We get everybody changed. It feels like we've all run a marathon because in the pool, it's also just hot. And it smells like pool water. You know, you just smell chlorine when you walk in there, and the floor's bubbly.
It's just like a rec center.
Hey,
pool.
I would argue that that's one of the best smells.
Oh, what?
That's top tier smells for me.
Oh, okay.
Up there with gasoline.
Talk about that with your therapist, and then circle back to us on it.
I will do so.
So we get the kids dressed. We get some of them in the water. The swim director's there. He's in the pool with the kids. And I like ask him like, hey, is there anything I need to know about the pool area or anything like that? He's like, no. He's like, the kids just get here. I swim with them. It's cool. It's really easy. Not a problem at all. So I'm like, okay, wonderful. So our one student, Jay Streaks, Jay Money, won't get in the pool.
J Money.
Jay Money, sorry. And so he's just like walking around stimming on things. So I'm watching him. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Not a big deal. He's in a wetsuit, ready for the pool.
So cute.
He's a Cali boy.
He's a Cali boy,
Yes,
surfer. He ready
Cali
for
boy.
it.
And his parents sent him with the straight up wetsuit, a surfer suit.
For sure.
Makes sense.
He
Fits
was-
him perfectly.
He
Nice-
was cute in
nice
it.
compression, nice sensory input. We're here for it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
I love
Overall,
He
10 out of
loved
10.
it. Yeah.
He really did. So got him in it. He's just walking around, stimming on different pictures, things like that. I'm watching him. Also, just like another thing to know about our schools, we had a lot of students who would elope. So our doors, you needed a badge. Like they always locked behind us, and you needed a badge to badge in or badge out. Because we had a lot of
Disclaimer.
elopers.
Yeah, disclaimer for people who don't know the term elope. If you're not in an autism community, elope does not mean go get married somewhere else. It means to run away.
Sprint.
For lack,
run.
literally run,
Yeah.
run. Okay,
Gone.
continue on.
He gone.
He gone,
He's
literally.
so gone.
He was
So-
so gone. Okay.
While we're there, another group, another classroom, they misread the schedule.
DR.
Yes. So
That's
they bring
right.
so this whole other classroom shows up,
Oh my God, one.
and I'm already still sweating from getting kids. Yes, getting dressed. So then I'm watching what's happening, and there are like 8 kids in the pool.
But they
with one adult.
jumped in. They were like, woo! Like
They were so
seasoned,
excited.
seasoned vets.
Like,
These
first
kids
day
were.
vacay,
They
let's
were
go.
cannonballing into the pool. Like it was like all really chaotic for a second.
It was very chaotic. We had one student who was nonverbal, and a student from the other classroom came over and was trying to dunk him underwater and basically drowned him. So
he was an old classmate. They were old buddies.
Old classmates. They had some beef to work out.
Clearly.
So I'm like trying to get the dude's attention. Like I'm watching.
Like
Jay
we're not
Money.
in the water.
We're not in the water. We're fully clothed. I was about to get in the water.
Yeah.
I'm watching him out of the corner of my eye, and then I see Island being dunked by this other student, and he obviously can't communicate. So I'm trying to get the attention. Like, hey, dude, like my other student's being drowned by him. Can you break this up? While that's also happening, another girl from the other classroom is screaming in the face of one of my students, her sister. So they're working out their own sister drama, screaming at her, and the other.
Wait,
my girl,
I forgot about the sisters.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So there's sister fight going on.
Yeah.
We have kid trying to dunk nonverbal student who can't communicate that he's being
drowned.
drowned.
Yeah. He's literally just like helpless.
And then
You guys, in the end of this story, everyone's fucking fine.
Everyone's
like-
completely fine.
But anyways, at one
So
point,
then
It's funny.
Meg says-
I hear a click, and I
Meg says,
look, and I
"Where's
go,
Jax?
Where's
J
J
Money?
Where is he?" No one knows. So I like run out. I've never been in the pool building, so I don't even understand all of the areas that you could go. So I'm opening doors. Every door is opening, which I am confused by because I was not told that all of these doors are kept unlocked for
Should be locked.
That
whatever
was
reason.
faulty.
So, what it is what it is. So I didn't know that these. So he was over by doors, but I had assumed, my bad, that they had locked. I also had asked the director of the swim pool if there was anything I needed to know about the space or about swim. He said everything's fine. So I also wasn't told that information.
It's not fine.
It was not fine. So then I come back in and I'm like, where is he? Jess and I stand up and we just start running.
Okay, so it was the
running.
immediate panic, guys.
Abby is stuck in the pool with 7 kids.
This isn't my first
was, like,
AWOL.
stuck trying.
Okay, it's not my first AWOL,
Yeah,
but
that's your first rodeo.
first one at school, first one in the pool.
First day.
Also, I'm telling you that J Money,
He quick.
he was the fastest runner I knew.
He's
So
an
he
athlete.
was Road Runner. Is that the guy in
Yes,
Looney
he was
Tunes?
a Road
He
Runner,
was
yes.
Road Runner. So
100%.
pew, we had no.
Gonzo.
I'm talking all of a sudden on the walkies. AWOL, this guy, blah blah blah, and people are
Dude's-
out
I just want to articulate. He's literally running through the streets in a wetsuit.
in a wetsuit.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to bring it
Wetsuit.
back.
So when we're like he's in a wetsuit, he came from the pool, he
Yeah.
long hair, like explaining who he is, and
Yeah.
like over the walkies, everyone comes out, everyone's running around, people are getting in vans. You guys, he ends up
walks into a neighbor's house.
So this isn't it's by like a residential where our
Absolutely. It's a
school
very
is.
residential
Yeah.
area. So,
Yeah.
like,
So many
there are
neighbors.
neighbors all over.
Yeah.
like,
And
out the
neighbors are
property.
very much aware with the community. So J Money strolls up into someone's house and starts opening the cupboards and looking for food. This lady is like, "Hey, buddy."
so
Which-
kind.
And he
So she
kept
he's a
him there,
very-
fed him.
Gives him a sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah, classic.
While her son calls 911.
That's what we showed up to. I eventually got into a van.
Yeah, you got in a van.
Rolled up on scene in this van, and I see the ambulance. I'm like, "This is him, isn't it?" And I see him in the wetsuit. He has the biggest smile on his
God, he's like,
face.
Smashing a
Food,
sandwich.
just
Oh, he was
loving his
so
life.
happy. You guys didn't even know he did anything wrong. But
What a story.
Oh man, I was sweating.
if you want
I
to talk
was
about
running.
shit your pants moment,
God.
panic attack, heart
Yeah.
rate at like 300, that was it.
Dude, and like it's just like when someone elopes, I'm sorry, I just transitioned to I don't know if we have time to share one last story.
Yeah, let's go.
I just remember it was K boy. I don't know what else to call him.
Oh, gosh.
Oh yes.
Because he's also an this dude was also an eloper.
We
and
didn't
it's
really
just,
know
like,
to what extent, though.
Yeah, so like when stuff like that happens, you're just like you forget about you being a teacher, you forget about you like where you're even at. You're just like my priority is to just chase after this kid and hope he's safe. Like this,
Dead ass. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, if you have to tackle him, you will do whatever's
Right.
necessary to get him stationary.
Yeah, like
I'll never forget.
Seriously.
I mean, you came and you opened the door and you're like, he ran.
I know.
And I
just
pushed Mundo
yes.
into a wall, like totally checked him. And like,
shocked him.
and it
Like,
also was Spirit Week, so I was in full tie-dye,
Yes.
just running across property.
Yeah. Literally like sprinting, and I just like, I'm painting a picture because I will remember this moment vividly for like until the day I die. I was like in the lead because I saw it happen first, so I'm like sprinting out.
Look at your legs and you're an
I
athlete.
know, I'm like
clearly
athlete
not.
abs.
I know Meg is following behind me, so I'm just like slow. Just picture it slow motion. I'm sprinting, looking forward. I see him. I got my eyes on him. I look back, and it's like I'm leading a fucking war. Like,
Wait,
Absolutely.
like everyone has their pitchforks and everything. Like I was just like, let's go get it.
Man, we ran across. It was
Oh
so,
my
I mean,
God.
and then I think the funniest thing too about an eloper is by the time you get to where the student is, there's like another adult or something who is trying to understand what happened. And you're like, mine, and you're showing them a badge like we belong together,
Yeah.
and they're trying to like help out, and you can't breathe.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
have no breath because you just were
because
leading a
you're
war.
not only that,
God.
but you're panicking at the
Yes.
same time. You're like,
Well, we had the whole OT team out running
Yeah,
behind
that's
us.
what I'm
And
saying.
the best
because
part
they heard,
is,
war
they heard the
behind
battle
me.
cry.
Yes.
He's running.
Like,
Whenever you hear
let's
someone's running, you just run.
I had my stroll back with my guy, and I had no idea any of this happened. You know
It's 'cause
me.
he pooped. And he
Oh,
pooped in the
because-
shower.
You
so
were
you had to
dealing
clean
with
it
your
up.
own shit, literally.
The thing is that when he would poop in the shower,
Yeah.
I was like, I'll do it gladly. My obsession with this guy was out of control.
Yeah, no.
Still is.
He is. I ran into him recently, at the school, and when I say he is 6'2",
No, he's not.
he rattled past me. He was rattling. Of course, he was got the keys
Do you have his
going.
keys?
And who was it? Julie, the music teacher, our old music
Miss
teacher.
Julie, the best.
She was like, Jess, and he was on the move, and I was like, I'm crying.
Oh
Goodbye.
my God. I can't believe he's that big.
I mean, his
He's
dad.
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Huge. Like, we always knew he was going to be big.
That's
Yeah. But, I mean, our fair
Uh,
share of eloping stories, I feel like we're missing a bunch, but if they come
Oh
up,
my
they
God,
come up.
yeah.
I do. I think what was cool, too, is us meeting in that state and loving every minute of us working together, but also having to come to that realization that it's not all where we needed to be
Yeah.
professionally or for ourselves. And I think that was tough. It was hard to like walk away from that situation where we're having a blast and we have these stories that we crack up about, and we will think about them on our deathbed. Just as you're about to close that eyelid, you're just going to picture all of us running behind you.
Yeah.
You know, but it just showed like we were starting out and like we didn't know where we were going to end up or how we were going to get there.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've all ended up where we needed to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy that we met there at that time in that room.
Like,
And I
we
feel like
had
really help
to.
support each other to make big moves.
Yeah.
That are
And-
scary.
Yeah, and I think there's work friends, but I think we knew we exceeded that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was obviously a deeper connection between all of us, and we knew that. Not only
It's called obsession.
over,
Yep.
it's not only over drunken nights walking the
God.
plank and eating what Nunzio's pizza.
Pepper pizza.
Pepper pizza.
But it wasn't over that. Like, I feel like we just
Yeah.
knew that we'd be in each other's lives forever. And I think that was really, really hard
Yeah.
to separate from, because you're like, I don't want to screw Meg over
Yeah.
because she's the boss and this becomes her problem, you know, if she doesn't leave when we do. But I remember that I think I was the first one to kind of stray away when I was pursuing photography. And never forget, Abbs and I are in gross motor room
The gross motor.
where K-Boy would sniff butts, and we had a K-Zack situation.
K-Zack.
Oh my gosh, we were so entertained during Gross Motor,
God.
and we literally went away there just to escape Meg's
Yeah.
craziness sometimes.
Yeah.
We're like,
All the time.
but we were like,
Right.
Gross Motor session.
Yes. Like, all the kids, like, oh, you need him
But
to be on our schedule. We'll just take him down
Let's
there.
call it what we always call it. Gross Motor. That's embarrassing, but Abbs always laughed when I said that, and the grosser I did that.
Yeah, but, like, I was more excited to go.
we we were like, we gotta get out of these 4 fucking walls
I know.
and go to the gym. Anyways.
But that's where it all happened.
And I was like, Abbs, I found this retreat that I'm thinking about. And Abbs is the best person to go to if you have any type of qualm about anything, because she is just going to gas you the hell up. And she truly did. She was like, Jess, I think you should do this. But like from an honest standpoint, I feel like you would have been honest no matter what.
Yeah.
And I really think you're like, I can just tell the way you're lighting up talking about it.
Yeah.
And I know that you have to do this. And Abbs is someone to talk about, like, if I leave or if I, go on vacation, I fuck everyone over in that classroom. And Abbs, very well knowing that, was like, you still have to do this. We don't care. We're still going to handle this, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's truly what happened.
Yeah.
I remember telling you, I don't know if it was that same day or that same week or whatever. And you're like,
week, yeah.
I feel like it was the same day. I think like after you talked to her, then you had booked it. I think you even booked it.
I
that
booked
same
it.
minute.
I booked it
I was
at
like, send it.
Yeah. And you know what
I
that
think-
was? Me texting Rach. So that's
Yeah.
what booking that is. What a
Right.
weird full circle
That's
moment.
so
But
crazy, to think about it. And I just remember like hearing about Rach.
Just,
and
like,
how, like
her knowing,
Rach.
like, everyone, that was like such a big moment in this realm,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for her
Absolutely
to
was.
like
Yeah.
receive that is just like,
For sure.
just funny. But
yeah.
that
it's like
was,
we were in a position where like we were so happy working together because our friendship was so on point, and like because of our friendship being so great, like our work environment was even better, and like we loved our jobs even more. So like
I also feel like we balance each other out so well in regards to the work life.
Yeah.
I feel like our work life was on point, and I think we did a really good job. I don't know how we managed it, but like we were always very good at like keeping them separate, but letting them mesh when they could mesh.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we weren't trying to force anything in one area or another.
yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, we did
Which
balance
Meg-
that pretty well.
Meg said the same for that too, because like essentially she was our boss.
But she set that up. I don't know. She was like nervous to become friends with us at
Very
first.
nervous.
Yeah.
Very
And that
nervous.
wasn't her being like, "Let's go, besties are my associate teachers." It took some,
Yeah.
some
You
a
guys
few
really-
happy hours.
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Small
easy, but I
conversations.
think we respected you enough to respect you
Yeah.
as a boss
Right.
at work. Like
Yeah.
we wouldn't let the friend like level,
Yeah.
precede the boss level
Yeah.
at work. Like we just respected you enough, and we really, and I still do, like look up to you when it comes to but really though, like
Yeah.
I remember Abbs and I during IEP meetings, and we're just jaw to the floor the way you talk about how you light up in front of their parents and how you talk about them in day-to-day life, like
Yeah.
truly, and just how smart you really are, and the best.
Jess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
truly. I mean, I say that to everyone I know. I'm like, you are the best teacher.
100%.
And I say, when I have kids, it's like, I'm sending them to you with literally everything. Like, please raise them, because
Yeah.
God bless. Give them the Meg Nye
Put 'em on a
backhand.
behavior
Backhand.
plan, Yeah.
No, truly though, I do mean those words, but I do feel like that was kind of how we balanced it. It's like
A lot of
really,
respect. We all had
Yeah.
a lot of respect for each other professionally and personally, and I really was grateful that you guys didn't do that, and it wasn't like, oh well, we know how you like your drunk pizza, so we're not gonna
right.
do
There
this
were never
task.
no
Right.
blurred
Like, it was
lines.
no, it was
And
very clear.
you were really good at setting boundaries too. Like if
Yeah.
there were like
Oh my gosh.
there were times like I like to be late to work, and Meg came to me like mercy in her eyes, like she's just like, I just can't have you guys being late anymore. Like I can't handle all these kids coming in at once. And like she just looked at me dead in the eyes and like, that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Like that was it.
End of story.
I was like, I'm sorry for even taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Like truly I didn't know it was an issue. But
Yeah.
but like that's really how it went. I think we just
Yeah.
talked honestly and openly about
Everything.
things at work. So we were like, let's just get it together. But
Right. I remember like Meg rarely drank an iced coffee before work because she was just like already up at like 3 a.m.
She was at level 10 at all
thinking about
times.
like her kids. Like
Oh my god, all that.
So
How you
she-
guys dealt with me. Sometimes
we-
I get so anxious about who I was
No.
as a person, as a teacher. Then like I was high to the air, man.
High
Every
I think
day.
you'd be surprised at how level-headed you were most
yeah,
times.
for sure.
I think there were times where Abbs and I would look at each other and be like, "Is she okay?"
Yeah.
But
She drank
it
iced
was
coffee
rare,
every day.
or like we knew that was going on. Or after work, you told us like, "Hey, I just stress out about this. And we're like,
Yeah.
that checks out. You know, it was never like neurotic
Yeah.
or as crazy as it seemed on your end.
Yeah.
Like we really felt like things were on lock at all
Yeah.
times.
Please tell the story.
But, like-
of the coffee.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
she would drink iced coffee, and I feel like
Dunkin' Donuts,
a
right?
couple of days, like, out of the month, it would just be, like, so random. We'd show up, and, like, the first thing Meg would say, because she was there, like, an hour before
She was there,
we showed
like,
up.
sometimes a few hours before
Yes.
us. And I'm like,
it'd be like, guys, so before we even said good morning, she'd be like, I was up at 3 a.m. and I thought about, like, doing this with a student. We were like, dude, like,
whoa.
just, like, still sipping her first sip of coffee. Like, Meg's like, well, I already drank a coffee. Me and Jess would look at each other like,
We're like, I'm like,
one.
Meg, how many cups of coffee have you
on
had?
one.
Jess would come in and she'd be like, hey, Meg, I'm just in my office. And by my office, I mean literally this tiny room that I shared with our SLP Hanny, who is the most magical person. We shoved 2 computers in there. It also is our de-escalation room and our snack cabinet.
Yeah.
And where I have to keep all of my files.
Right.
So we're literally just crunched in there. And she's like, Meg, Meg. I'm like, yes. Like, just curious, like, baseline, where are we at with coffees? I'm like, it's this. I've had 3. I'm about to get another one. And I remember Hanny was like, put the cup down.
And
I was very new
the
into
brows
coffee.
down.
The
brows
brows
down.
down.
Like, but we all worked out, and I just feel like that was.
Yeah.
I was very grateful for that. I feel like I was learning a lot. You know, you go to school and you plan for the perfect classroom, and I can do everything for the perfect classroom, but then you get to that classroom, and that classroom is not perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to manage a staff. I was not taught how to manage a staff. I was not taught how to do all these different things that are actually the reality of teaching. And I am just very grateful to you guys because you allowed me to grow and learn and figure out how to do that without taking me too seriously. And you guys knew when I was like spiraling.
Yeah.
You knew that as like a younger teacher and me trying to figure out like who I am and how am I in regards to like education and where's my education philosophy and pedagogy and all this other bullshit that everyone thinks is so important. But like,
Yeah.
I remember saying to Jess, like, my goal at the end of the day is that every lunchbox gets home. Like, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Simple.
Everyone goes home safe and everyone gets
Yeah.
their lunchbox returned home. Like,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. And it was just cool because everyone's like, all right, team lunchbox. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to make sure all the lunchboxes get home.
Lunchbox. Yeah.
You know, or Jess would show up and be like,
Yeah.
we forgot one Meg.
Oh.
I'd be like,
Phone soldier here.
phone soldier here.
Call the parents like freaking out. No, but I think like, I mean, despite like our friendship growing in the classroom and then like outside of the classroom, like we had it made in terms of like being able to balance that relationship on and off, like on and off the court. I almost said.
You know us,
Like,
we playing them games.
like I think that's just like the most beautiful part of our friendship is that like we grew together in the professional setting, like working together, and then we like lifted each other up to like continue to move on outside of that job that we first met and like still have maintained that friendship and like lifted each other up.
Yeah.
And like, despite going different routes too,
Yeah.
like really different routes, like
Yeah.
explain what you're doing now, Abbs,
Yeah.
and how far you've come since
Yeah.
us working together.
I was going to say, like, I feel like I was just thinking about, I know you guys will remember this. So when I started working with these guys, my whole goal was to become an occupational therapist, and working with that specific population, like, opened my eyes and, like, influenced me to become one even more. But I remember, like, hesitating, and I was, like, so grateful for the opportunity to, like, get to learn and grow and, like, work before I went to grad school. But I remember getting accepted into grad school, and then I had an interview, and I had to tell Meg, I was like, Meg, I had to leave work, and, like, Jess was like, because Jess lived 10 minutes from where we worked, and Jess was like, just go back to my house, and I, on our lunch break, went home to Jess's house in her bedroom. I, like, sat on her floor, set up my computer, and had my grad school interview in her, and then, like, went back to work, and I was like, guys, it was so great, and they were just, like, hyping me up, like, I was so grateful for that moment. But yeah, survived grad school, and that's like kind of how I transitioned out of working at the school. I had to go to school and study and do that, and then it ended up being in South Florida, and yeah, that, like, it was 3 years of my life, which I don't even know how it's over already, but it's weird to even say now, like, I'm a licensed occupational therapist. Took a long work, and I, like, couldn't have done it without these two special humans. So shout out to you. But I'm currently a traveling occupational therapist. So I do it with my friend who I met in grad school. Shout out to Hannah. We just finished our first rotation in Virginia. So it's like 13-week contracts. We just go, show up. They're like, here's the job. You do it, and then you leave. I don't know. I've obviously only been in it for 3 months now, but I've learned so much. And I think my experience in Virginia, I was the only OT at this specific facility, and, like, this traveling experience is so cool. Like, I got to meet so many people. One of the girls that I met who's a CODA, she turned out to be, like, one of my lifelong best friends too as well. So it's just, like, the broad spectrum of just being able to do my job and meeting new people, being in different places, and, like, I don't know. I didn't expect to come back here either. So, like, being able to come back here and, like, just shed light on how far I've come, and
that's great.
just giving thanks to you guys and stuff like that. It's just been
Thanks, Nas. We didn't do jack shit,
Yeah,
Abs.
we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's been great. So
Shout out Abs.
Yeah.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
No, 100%. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go to Cali, so y'all visit.
Say less.
Tuesday.
Say less in that
Yeah, I
aspect.
know.
I mean, I don't fit in with the people there, but I'm down to
I mean,
hang.
I've never been, so,
Down to
like,
clown.
we can just show up
We're about
together. Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to roll through.
Who cares?
I just want to check out some package free shops. I'm gonna be so excited.
Oh my gosh, that's your
I'm gonna be there
jam.
for it. I say hello.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, all in all, guys, it's us maintaining friendship amongst going different paths, starting at school.
Right. Well, you're with each other for a
Every
minimum
day.
of 7 to 8 hours a day.
We knew literally you couldn't hide a thing that was going on in your personal life because these were some close quarters, though. Like we knew everything about each other.
Yeah.
Like
Had
body
my
language.
I know your body. I know you.
I
One
know
time
you.
Jess said that to me. I know your body.
I
know
do.
you.
Literally, we are living, breathing the same shit every day.
Yeah, literally.
And like saving each other's ass
Yeah.
is just another way of bonding. It's like insane.
It's hard to even describe.
It is. I remember, I don't know why this just like popped up in my brain, but like also at Monarch too, like I feel like it was just such a springboard for like you in regards to your career and like getting through those types of things, and like Jess starting photography, and then also Jess starting to date Joey.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I remember
forgot
one time.
that it
Wait.
started there.
Oh my gosh.
Remember the first time I ever met Joe?
Let's talk about the
Oh.
first time Abby met Joe.
Oh
No,
my
first,
God,
though, my favorite
wait.
was catching Jess texting Joe. She's like, I just need this Apple Watch so she can read her text without me knowing. And then
Yeah, I was trying to be slick,
Yeah,
okay?
and then she's
Obviously.
just like looking at her phone, like smiling so
Because
cute.
Meg
And
didn't
I'm
even
like,
have Venmo. How
Guys,
did she
Joe
know?
was a cornball back then. He
Yeah.
still is, but I'm telling you, he turned it on.
oh, it was
And I was
so
eating
good.
it
Oh,
up.
He
she
was,
eating that for lunch, dinner,
and
lunch, dinner.
breakfast.
between, all the time, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
All the
I just remember we would
things.
be gushing over him and just.
Yeah.
It was just so cool because she'd be like, I feel like we all
We
take
were- you were-
screenshots.
we
and
were
send it
all
to our
dating
friend.
Joe.
Yeah,
We
we
were.
are.
We
We
absolutely were all dating Joe.
Especially the first time that I met him. Like, that like, if he stuck around after that, of
Guys,
course he was it.
So
Is
this
that when you got Swamp Dick car?
No. So
Oh.
this is, let's
No.
like, we could talk about,
So let's talk
The
about him
three
meeting the
of
friends.
us-
He met all of us that night.
well, the three of us, like, we do what's called
A
I'm
hooty
sure,
hoo.
Yeah, like a lot of people probably know this. I don't know if you've ever mentioned it. A hooty hoo. So, like, long story short, we're all ride or dies here. Like, if you're going through it, send the text hooty hoo. I'm dropping everything, and I'm coming with food. I'm coming with drinks. Like, we're showing up, and we're
And
just like
that's-
cashing it out.
That's what this crew does. I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now
Yeah.
That's tonight.
that we roll through with
Yeah.
food. Like
Oh my god,
the love for food in this group right here is immense.
food soulmate status.
That Abs and I.
Jess
we
and I are
like-
food soulmates. We'll look into each other's eyes and eat food and like.
We love it on the same
Oh
level.
my god.
Yeah.
I could
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
that's a whole other episode.
That sure is.
But
So Abs had a hootie hoo because
I had a hootie hoo because I got dumped.
don't
Oh, the time
Like-
your heart was broke.
Dumb
my
boozled.
God,
By
like-
a
Straight-
Chewy bar.
Chewy bar.
I
Yuck.
just like honestly like hope he's doing well. I have no idea. I haven't talked to him in years. It's crazy.
That was my favorite Abs era though. Let's call it what it is.
I literally.
She was wearing my clothes. She had that crimp hair. I'll never forget it. She
She's wearing
stayed.
my
She
clothes?
didn't go home for a week, and something about that was just
Yeah.
so great.
just
We
worked.
were fighting over whose house she was sleeping
Yeah.
over. I'm like,
Jess
I'm
and I
taking care of Abs.
absolutely were. We were like holding her like a little baby bird. We're like, okay, careful.
Yeah, you had to be
Like,
careful with her.
We just wanted to be
She was
near her at all
fragile. You were like
times.
numb to
Yeah.
everything, though. You were like, I am not dealing with any of this.
I just remember like Jess saying like.
You were just. It was
Abs,
out
you're
of left
gonna-
field.
Yes.
So it was
like,
weird.
Yeah, it was definitely like it wasn't like on a ghosting level, but it was like,
Low key.
wait a second.
Right.
Where are we at? Who you're talking to me? Like it was just out of nowhere. And then I just remember Jess saying, "This week you're gonna look back and be like, this is the best week of your life." And I was like, to this day, like it was
I think
a
it was the best week of
heartbreak.
all of our lives.
Because we did something every day. We're like, we have
Every
to keep Ab's
day.
mind off of this. So we ended up like
Yes,
having a blast.
100%. But so
Is that the time that I got locked out of my house that I had to?
Yes, I
Okay.
have a video of it, just like climbing in the house, and I was like, it was like a Monday after work, and she just like climbing back into her house, and I was like, of course this would happen right now,
Add
but
it to the list.
was the day that the Chewy bar ruined my life. I'm just kidding. I'm
was.
fine.
No,
And so
Abs
Joe and I were on-
texted me, and she told me this information. So like, I'm watching my little brother, who's an individual with autism. So I'm like watching him, staying with him for the weekend.
He was
We've been hanging
there.
out. So
With his
I was like, oh my
infinity
gosh.
pool coke.
He's
So
like,
I'm with Jim, and she texts me, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, Jess is on this date.
I think it's second
This is a
second
hootie
days.
hoo.
It was
Wait,
a-
It was.
Was
I
it
think
a
it was.
second
It was.
date?
Yes, it was.
It
when we
was
guys were at
the one-
corn maze.
yes.
Was it?
It
I
was.
think it was the one that we were at Nano Brew.
That's,
Was it?
I think so because
I think
I
you guys
also
were at the
remember
corn
like
maze.
We were at Nano Brew, and Joe said that's the day he fell in love with me. If that was
I
second
remember
date,
that.
that's pathetic.
I remember that because we went and
He's
like
perfect.
fast forward a little bit, but Joe, we went to like a family brunch. It was a family brunch. It was all of us.
Call it what it is.
And we were walking to Nana Brew, and I was walking with Joe like after like I had met him the first time, which we're gonna talk about really quick. But he was like, "Oh, Nana Brew, that's where I fell in love with Jess," and I was like, "Already? Like, okay, he's the one. Let's go." He was head over heels from day one.
So head over heels.
I was just like, oh
The
my God.
feelings were
Not mutual.
Yeah.
not
Jess-
for a while.
Yeah.
Jess can't. No, Jess loved him. Jess couldn't accept or communicate that information.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the fucking catch, bruh?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Jess was waiting for the bottom to fall out.
Yeah.
Anywho,
But no,
Abs
yeah.
calls the hootie hoo. She heads over to
My place in Lakewood. I
drive
drive from my parents.
Yeah.
to
With
Lakewood.
Jimmy.
Like they did the
to
most
Lakewood.
to just be with me.
And I
Yes.
say to Joe on the date, I said, hey.
Hate.
Yeah. Jimmy thought we were
This-
going to Walmart, so he was pretty pissed.
He had his wallet. And
He
he
had
was
his wallet.
ready.
He was ready.
He was ready. But I'm like, hey, my friends do this thing, and we don't call it unless we need it. And we got to go to Meg's. And he was like, dropped everything. He's like,
No
okay,
for
absolutely.
shit.
Oh, yeah. But that is the night it rained so bad.
Yes.
He ended up getting a hotel and never told me.
Hotel.
Correct.
Until,
He got
like,
a
I
hotel.
months
remember
later.
that, but that's when like so.
Oh, I threw up in the bathroom
Yeah,
as soon
you
as I
were.
got there.
You
I
shut
just
up-
Ralphed.
You
We're
shut
like,
up to Meg's
"Ew."
house. I was like, "Hey Joe, nice to meet you. I just got dumped. I'm drinking like I don't know a vodka drink
I think
that
you
Meg
were.
made."
He's crying.
Like, I'm
I thought you were drinking
sobbing.
like pumpkin beers.
And Joe's like sitting in the corner with Jim, who like has his movie collection. Like here, like
and he was
just like,
showing Joe.
All of his movies.
and Joe literally
I
He's
was
like, oh, I love that. But Joe
literally-
loves movies, so I'm thinking like he was like, hell yeah. Oh, sorry.
Joe was not phased at all.
No.
he
Not
was
at all.
here for it,
He
and I
was-
was like, let's go.
He held it down.
Yeah,
He crushed it.
I know.
And I Ralphed in
Yeah.
the.
In my
I was,
bathroom, he
but
came
I
out.
used to get absolutely annihilated on every date with him.
Mhm.
I know we talked about that because you were saying like I'm so sick of being hungover at brunch the next morning and puking, and I'm like, It's hard. It's because you're
It's
drinking
hard.
because you're anxious and you're scared.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm just gonna have a drink to take the edge off, and the next thing you know, you're blacked out because you just are like
Classic mix up.
classic.
Yeah.
Still gets me.
I remember we
Day
had this like,
drinking's hard.
it was the night after he asked me to be his girlfriend, and we went to a brunch, and it was nice. And I threw up, and this is what I was talking about. I threw up in the bathroom, like on my hands and knees, praying to the porcelain gods and God himself, and being like, please let this go away. And like, this was a special moment. And Joe's like, are you like regretting last night? Or like, and I'm like, bro, no, like I'm violently hungover.
Like, I'm in it. I'm just sick, dude.
But yeah, that was how it went, though.
Dude, I'm sick.
Dude, I'm sick, man.
Dude, I'm sick. Never
I don't know.
forget.
I just feel like we met each other at such a beautiful moment, and I think we were all just wanted to be accepted for the individuals that we were.
Yeah.
And I think that we just were able to cultivate an environment, and I feel like this doesn't happen frequently, but we were able to do it somehow where it was like, come as you are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for you. Like, you don't have to put on the facade. You don't have to put on the show. And also, in the environment we worked in, like, you couldn't. Like, you were trying to regulate 6 other people at all times.
Mm-hmm.
That when it came to your own emotions or where you were at, like, I didn't have space to be able to be like, I think maybe I am feeling... No, it's like, this is how I feel. And I just need you guys to hear where I'm at. And you guys just always showed up and were like, hey, we got it. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, we can roll through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really unique.
I think so too. I don't think we had capacity to be anything we weren't,
Absolutely not.
because of what was going on around us and having to manage everyone else's emotions. That it would like you just said. But I think all walls were down when you're caretaking for another human so aggressively, for lack of a better term. I'm just saying, it's like there were no other people to be than ourselves. And I think that's really weird too, because you have friends at different stages of your life. And I think we all had friends from high school that we all were really close with and still are. But then we met these friends in your first job, and that's you being an adult. And that's kind of a new you.
Yeah.
And I just really felt that we were all truly ourselves, and we all just like accepted that wholeheartedly. And I don't know, it was cool. Like, I think you guys know the real me, and I think like the realest me, because I think being under that amount of stress, and not saying like we were always under stress at the classroom, that's not what I mean, but I'm saying like managing other people's emotions and behaviors, it's like all walls come down.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't a certain amount of stress. Like, you are being entrusted with other people's most prized item, their child.
Right.
And like, that is a lot of pressure. And
Yeah.
you're working with a human who has feelings and emotions, and it's not like a piece of clay where you can be like, oh, I messed this up, I'm going to like throw it back down and try again.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not
Like,
like that.
it has, what you do has a lasting impression. So, I mean, I think we took our job very seriously in regards to providing the best and safest educational space for those individuals. That when you are giving it all that way, how can you not just be purely who you are? Because at the end of the day,
Here
That
she
is who you are.
goes.
That
Here
is
she
it.
goes, Meg Nye. On her shit. I always love
Meg
it.
Nye.
She's so good with
She
words.
doesn't even know that she's saying
I know,
it
she
either.
just spews beauty, man.
No, that's
Oh,
why
it never
I'm packing up
changes.
the car.
It used
I'm
to-
leaving.
it
We got
used
plenty
to
of
be
snacks
like-
here, so pack up.
it'd be like Meg would just go on and on like I'm a crybaby. I'll admit it now. I was embarrassed at first, but like
But wait, the first one would be like, it's going to be hard to crack me. We're like, Abs, what? Why did
did
you
I
even
actually
say
say
that?
that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a
You were
baby.
weird. You were like, I never cry. Like, it's hard. And I was like,
literally cry if someone looks at me the wrong
I
way.
know.
Yeah, we know.
And I was like, how would she
I
ever
don't
say that to us when
know.
you're the most emotional out
I
of us
don't know, I
all?
was trying to be so cool in front of cool Jess and like know it all Meg. Like
Know it all, Meg. Yes.
Yeah.
no, I
Also-
meant it in a good way. Like you had so much knowledge.
But you guys,
something.
let's call us what we are, and it's the Ferocious Pinecones.
We are the Ferocious Pine
The
Cone.
Ferocious
Meg came up with that. I'm telling you.
Pinecones.
I
They
thought it was
asked-
a joke. I thought it was a joke. I didn't
You
realize.
told me to
You
make
thought
the
it was
sign.
a joke?
Well, when they were like, what's your team? Whatever. I was
And
like,
Meg
we're
is-
the Ferocious Pine Cones.
Meg was just being weird.
I
And
was.
then
I was
they
just
were
being
like,
weird.
okay, we have you down as Ferocious Pinecone. And we were like, Meg, that that's real. And she's like, fuck it, put it up on the board. She's like, put it up on her door then. Like, I don't care if that's, and you like went along with it. Like you didn't take the job too seriously for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like we have to take serious, just like you said,
Right.
we're caring for humans, but I'm just saying like when you didn't have to, you didn't. And I appreciated that.
Oh my
Like
God, yeah.
in a human and in a boss.
Laugh it out. Yeah.
But I love you guys. I just want to say thanks for coming on here.
Thank you for having us.
Talking about the
I
tism,
feel
sharing
honored.
some laughs about our old times working together. But
Here we are.
truly thankful for you guys and our friendship and
Yeah.
Sam.
making it through these years, through the careers.
It's hard, but we got to keep going, and we have each other, and that's all that matters.
Guys, give me one tip of the dick for
Tip of
maintaining
the day.
friendships
Oh
through
my gosh,
through.
wait.
Oh,
What do you have a
leaving?
prop?
I wrote something down because
Oh,
I remember
good.
this was a topic.
Maintaining friendships through the years. If you fall out, or you know, if you had
Well,
something in common and you don't now, say it be
yeah.
work or whatever.
Hold on.
What would you guys say?
Meg, you got something? Go
TOTD.
ahead. TOTD.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
This is my thinking face.
Hold on.
Also similar to my pooping face. Actually, I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the obvious ones
Do you
are
have
like
one?
keep in touch. Like, I say, like, I don't know. For me, I need like deep connection with people to still feel close to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Abbs and I can go a pretty long time without talking, but when we catch up, we'll like voice memo each other.
That's
And
I mean, I'm
we
gonna
talk
find
really
this.
honestly, like
Yeah.
off the rip. So I value that. I think
Yeah.
it varies between different friendships, but I don't know. Like, check in with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, but I think too, like with us, like I don't know where this is, where I saw it, but like, because we know each other so well, and like if you want to continue that friendship with your friends, it's like I know that like my communication with Jess, even though we're not in the same place all the time, is like different than my communication with Meg. Like Meg, I can pick up the phone and call, and like she'll probably answer, and like
Just won't.
Jess,
Bitch won't answer a phone.
and like Jess and I like aren't phone call people, but like I discovered voice memos. It's because she has a busy schedule. She works so hard, and it's just like easy to like let somebody know like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Like I know like this will make you happy, whatever. And then like yeah, that's my favorite voice.
But
memo.
you do just randomly.
Yeah,
You'll
it's just
voice
like-
memo me, and you're like, "Hey, I'm just driving in the car, and
Yeah.
you crossed my mind, and I just want to let you know I miss you." And like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that really goes a long way. Like that really
Right.
makes me feel like seen and remembered as like a good friend to you. Like I still
Yeah.
cross your mind, or I don't know. That still makes
Yeah.
me feel like strong in the friendship.
Right, because sometimes I think like it is hard, and I've had friends who are like, you know, like count the days of like, oh, we haven't talked in like so long, and it's just like, this is, I can't remember what I wrote down exactly, but it's just like, let's come to a place of like, every woman, especially now and like this generation, like we are working our asses off, like living the grind out, like our friendship is unmatched, so why would we question if I don't hear from you for a day or so? It's just like I'm doing my thing and like you're doing your thing, and I respect that. Like let's respect that, like we need space to like enjoy our own lives, even if that means like I'm not going to talk to you for a couple days. That doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about you, or like
I was just gonna say that, like, don't take silence as like disinterest.
Yeah.
right.
That's not the case. Like, you're busy, I'm also busy. That doesn't mean
Right.
that you don't cross my mind, or that I
Right.
don't want you to have
Yeah.
the best every single time.
Right. It's like an
Aw, yeah.
unspoken
You know what I mean?
support.
It's just like, hey, I'm here for you, and you know at the end of the day, if you need anything, I will always be there to roll up. But I think we're just a deep-rooted entity,
Yeah.
and like we don't have to be tended to. I mean, if you think about it, at the beginning of our friendship, it was that constant like watering and pruning and
Right.
like developing these deep roots. And once you have those deep roots, let the
Yeah.
plant flourish. There are gonna be seasons of that growth and seasons of not.
she
Like, it's all
goes.
good. Shut
Take
up.
it
I
away,
hate-
Meg.
We shouldn't. You have to let her go. You can never interrupt
I
it because
know,
she'll come
shit.
off of the
I
pedestal.
messed up. I
She'll
know.
step
Knock
down
that
from
bitch
the
down. Knock her
Yeah.
down.
No, she'll step off the soapbox,
She'll
but
Step off,
No, but you know what
but-
I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
just let it ride. And like, there
I
are
love
times
that.
True.
of like where you're gonna shed in your friendship, and like there are gonna be
Yeah.
times where you're not always in sync and you're not always going through the same step, but at the end of the day, like, you're showing up for each other and
Yeah.
you support them so fiercely. Like, what more do you want?
right.
I also don't have time to talk to everyone every single day. Like, I don't have time to do those things, and it's not that I don't want to or that I don't care about you or you're not a priority.
It's because I'm doing
even, like,
me.
Right, or even, like, past friends, like, friends that you're not close with now, like, or maybe you've had, like, a friend separation. It's not that I don't wish you well. I'm always still rooting for you.
100%.
I always want the best for you.
Yeah.
But we're just not in a relationship where we can grow right now.
It's not our priority to
thing.
communicate to each other.
Right,
all the
and
time.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's also another thing. Like, I'm still out here rooting for you, whether we're friends or not. Like, we might have grown apart or we might not be at all in sync, but that doesn't mean I don't want the best for you.
Correct.
And I think that's, like, what we have to, like, constantly be focusing on is you don't have to be overexposed and constantly overstimulated to prove that you're a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
A good friend shows up today, didn't want to be here, was about to dip out. These fuckwads, hooty-hood, showed up at my house and brought me here, and I'm forever grateful for that, because it's in those moments when you're feeling the most severe struggle that they show up, and that in that moment matters more than if you talk to me every single day and ask me what kind of coffee I had. We all know Dunkin' Donuts, hazelnut swirl. Also, they discontinued it. I'm having a hard time. It's a dark time in my life. I'm having a lot of HC, a lot of house coffee.
HC. Boo. Tomatoes, tomatoes.
No, I'm spending
Meg,
money on
it's
coffee.
Very
trash.
well said, though.
Yes.
Very well said.
Yeah.
I feel like you said what I feel like a lot of people are feeling but don't know how to say about adult friendships.
Yeah. It's hard.
I think that's huge, and I feel like that was a TikTok moment.
Yeah.
Had to
don't.
say it. Okay.
Please show it on TikTok. The people need to know.
Well, I love you
It's
guys.
true.
I got to wrap it up or we'd be here for another 5 hours.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much, okay? Thank you
love
for
you,
being
Jess.
here on the
for having
Codependency
us.
Couch.
Yeah.
Catch.
The codependency catch.
The Codependency Couch. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. This is for Better and Worse Podcast. I'm Jess,
I'm Meg.
I'm Abbs.
and we out.
We out.
Other